that help us save billions of dollars every year, and I thank you for that work and thank your staff for that work. The GAO couldn't be more different than Trump and Elon Musk's Doge. Trump and Musk want to rip away the vital services that millions of Americans depend on. He's doing it just to find money to give tax cuts to the richest people in this country and largest corporations in this country, many of whom pay a less effective tax rate than a lot of the teachers in my district. Doge will save nothing for the American people while making everything worse for us, while trying to find room to give tax cuts to the richest people in this country. Shamefully, those cuts include cuts to our military veterans, including the nearly 32,000 veterans that I proudly represent. And I take this subject personally because I'm the son of a veteran. I come from an Air Force family. Hell, my family's been in the Air Force so long, they were in it when it was the Army Air Corps. And so I take this very personally. Mr. Dodaro, VA healthcare is on the GAO's high-risk list. How have staffing challenges at the VA contributed to this?
And I'll ask Ms. Farb to come up, but they've contributed to it very significantly. Jess?
I would say, we talked about this a little bit earlier in terms of scheduling appointments for veterans, both in the VA facilities and in the community, providing treatments that are needed and timely care, which VA has had problems with in the past, as we all know. So not having the staff that they need to kind of continue on the path to making sure that veterans get timely access to quality
So a
care.
staff capacity issue, not enough.
Yes. Well, not a right type. I mean, I'm very concerned about the mental health area. And they don't have enough behavioral mental health people, particularly for rural veterans.
100%.
And the suicide prevention areas is another area. The last I checked, there were 17 veterans a day die by suicide. It's a national disgrace, in my opinion, that we're not better supporting these people, which is why I added it to the high-risk list. And so they need doctors, nurses, they need the proper care. And also the proper handoff if they go to the community care process as well. So it's an issue that we need to be very careful on how we handle and make sure it's done properly.
I 100% agree with you. I was actually about to ask you about the VA's need to hire more psychiatrists and psychologists, and I appreciate you bringing that up. Right. Last week I held a veterans town hall in my district at my local VA. There were a few hundred people that showed up. Folks came very confused, very angry, and very scared. They asked questions. I have some of them down. They asked, will I lose my benefits? Who staffs Doge, and what are they doing with my personal medical information? Will budget cuts mean that I'll have longer wait times? Why is my health care being sacrificed to politics? These are the questions people ask me, my constituents, veterans ask me. Among the 18 inspectors general that Donald Trump illegally fired, which, by the way, Congress was supposed to be notified before an IG is fired like that. Maybe but 2 hours ago, Republicans in this committee took a vote to silence me because I said Donald Trump was engaging in grifting. But complete crickets when he breaks the law and completely circumvents Congress and doesn't tell us about the firing of 18 inspectors general. How will the firing of the inspector general of the VA make it harder to address the issues that my constituents, the veterans in my district raised?
I responded earlier that I thought it was unfortunate those IGs were fired. I think we lost a lot of institutional and expertise in that area. We've worked very closely with Mike Missile over the years and the other IGs. Now, they have a very talented group of people. They'll soldier on, and they'll continue to do the job, but it was unfortunate. And, I had recommended to the Congress to make the change to require the 30-day notice and to give for cause, because the inspector generals do report to the Congress as well as to the head of the agency. It's a very unique responsibility, and Congress should have the opportunity to engage in a dialogue on that. I don't dispute the president's authority to fire them, but how it's done and follow the proper procedures, I believe, is important.
Thank you. The Orlando VA healthcare system already suffers from critical staffing shortages. I mean, the people there, who a large percentage of them are veterans themselves, are doing a great job. They're doing what they need to do, but they don't have the staff capacity necessary to be able to meet the demand, to be able to live up to our promise to people who put their lives on the line for the safety and security of this country. And that's something I take very seriously. It's something that a lot of my Republican colleagues used to take very seriously, but times change. Thank you so much, and I yield back.
Chair recognizes Mr. Gill from Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for holding this hearing today. I'd like to start by addressing a few of the concerns that our colleagues have had on the other side of the aisle about the Doge movement and Elon Musk in particular. And first, they're telling us that what Doge and Elon Musk are doing by firing federal workers, many of whom aren't